When we think of the Middle Ages, we think of clashing steel and the roar of brutal combat. But for the majority of the population, life was not a battlefield. It was a struggle of survival. Today we're stepping away from the castles and into the vast fields of full-scale agricultural production. We will explore the daily grind of the peasant class, a life defined by back-breaking labor, the heavy hand of oppressive local lords, and making lots of money. We will be building out a large industrial peasant economy to make money that we have no earthly idea of what we're going to do with it. And if you like long-form movies, think about subscribing. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subs. I am full-time on YouTube starting in February of 2026. So any support you can give me, it does help out tremendously. Let's get started. Let's begin in the Germanic Valley. Here, Oslo, the center section. Okay, we have a good stone deposit and wild animals. I like it. Now, we're not going to focus on bread or any of that. We're actually going to focus on veggies and certain things of that nature. So we have a good section here. Essentially what we have is a little bit of food and a massive industrial scale. So let's pause the game. Let's zoom in on this area. So I'm just going to box in this zone right here. And this is going to be kind of like our industrial buffer zone. I'm going to take this road straight down. Then I'm going to bend it, make it look a little bit more natural. Push it down right there. There we are. Same thing over here. Kind of blending the road systems together. Gonna have it go parallel here. And then we're gonna do like a little bit of a Y. I like to create somewhat natural looking road systems that way. And I had a couple of ideas. So this is actually very awesome. Because we're going to start off by building just simple burgage plots for housing. So let's get started. Let's get the logging camp up. Now we don't have to worry about it getting rid of the trees in this area. So we have identify the berries are all the way in the south. That's going to present some issues for us, but it's okay. So let's put our logging camp right around here. And we're going to get down just our first housing. Now it's a little bit blocked in this area, so we'll just do a few at a time. I really dislike the way that the game pulls things in sometimes, so we're just going to use a road to flatten out the backyards. Perfect. Right, we'll get the two up. I'll just bend this up. Let's make this one nice little area for all of the industry. Okay. One more house. We have just enough for 3 houses and a logging camp. Get that very high. We're gonna order an ox off the bat. Have them put up another hitching post. We'll push it over here. Bring this road up yonder. Over here. Get up a hunting camp since they're free. And fast forward. Let's let them get to work. What's awesome is we're really close to everything. We may get our family before the end of the year. Or sorry, the end of the month. Everything over here is going fantastic. Okay, hitching post is up. Logging camp's up. Let's put 3 families in there. And once these logs are out of the way, we can start procking the other housing. Our goal here is to get 6 houses up. Right, we got 1 house up. We got the wood out of the way. We can get 3 houses in here. Perfect. So we just need 6 timber. I may have fudged this just a tad bit, but it's alright. Kind of a tight fit. Yeah, we may just not get the family in the first month. It's pretty easy to do, but you don't always have to play perfectly. We're just going to chill out. Let the village develop naturally. Okay, now we have our wood. Get those houses up. Bring this down to 2 people. Put 1 into the hunting camp. Perfect. So we're going to do agriculture, and we're also going to sell stone. That'll be a good trade for us. So the next thing that we're going to need over here are boards. So we'll get a saw pit up right here. We will get up a woodcutter's lodge in the background right here too. And let's see. I think we could get the problem is if I put a forger hut down here, the granary worker is going to have to run all the way down here to pick it up. We're going to have like a separate granary down there. So we were able to get our first perk point. And what I was thinking for this, which is a little bit weird, I've never been a fan of the small holdings because it locks the family into only doing that job. It's useful for certain things, but you get it increase approval from food variety, which I think is amazing, and more trees. So for this build, I think we're going to do this because we're going to focus on not trying to do everything, but trying to create an economy just through agriculture. Now, you could take the perk that increases minor trade by 50%. That's a good one, but it only encompasses like a few of the veggies, and I want to sell all of them. All right, let's get someone into the saw pit. We're going to set a timber reserve of 10 and a plank production limit of 60. Woodcutter will place one family in. And we're going to take one family out of the logging camp. We're above 50%. It is April 12th. We will get our family in May. Going to move this gent over here. Get it out of the way. And then the next goal for us is to build a granary. I'm going to place right here, actually. And you'll see why in a moment. And I'll place a storehouse right here. And we can place future storehouses and all types of stuff trade. So it's going to be kind of cool is we'll have the granary, most likely another storehouse here, most likely industry. We're going to branch off from this direction. So I want the granary here as a central location. And what we're going to try to do, something a little unique. Of course, I'm going to use corpse pits. And it's just because it helps me visually inspect how big the plots are going to be. And I want it to be 2 corpse pits in each direction. Perfect. Okay. It's never going to be perfect-ish, right? Okay. I'll need to get rid of you. Just kind of eyeballing it. And I'm going to get kind of like a circular thing going on in here. This is what I'm thinking. We create some smaller plots that also have an organic feel to them. And this is just to have fun. The Flexo and some of the designs I've shown you are still superior in those regards, but I am trying to make this look a little cooler. And that can be difficult sometimes. You just need to make sure the points go. Okay, there we go. We can rotate it. Yeah, that's not bad. They have to walk a longer ways, but that's not bad. I'm gonna place those guys there. You can see they're kind of optimized for their proximity, right? To the granary. There we go. This will be an orchard, I think, based off size. This guy won't have any help. That's fine. So we're just going to go with that. I'm going to try to do some circular motions. Alright, we're going to get those guys going for now. Let's speed this up. You can see kind of what I'm planning is to do kind of these little circular housing areas in the back down here. Alright, form the militia. We'll definitely want to go out and get a bandit camp as soon as possible. Get that money. That'll be good for us. Okay. Maybe this won't be industry. The one idea I had, and we'll get there in a second, is I want to put the church here, and I want to put housing around it. I thought that would look kind of cool. Have the church in the center of housing. I'm just trying out some new designs, basically. The way we're going to do this, of course, and the reason the corpse pit's awesome is that it's the exact distance you need to get a backyard extension. Okay, so that's why I use it. It's also because it's free, so it doesn't cost anything to place down. If they ever change that, which I'm sure they will because they hate me, then we'll have to, you know, look at it one more time. But here we go. Not enough goods. Okay. And pause all the corpse pits so that they don't build them out. We're running out of food. We're going to build a chicken coop. Help with food. We're also going to stop growing. We have more than enough. We definitely, in fact, need to get the berries. And we're just going to have to eat the cost of... they will eat out of the pantries, mind you, if they run out of food. So at a minimum, it's going to keep us from starving. And then we'll have to worry about the efficiency of it later. Okay, let's put another family into the logging camp to speed that up. I am worried about people starving to death. Let's increase the priority of the forager hut down here. And if people do end up starving, it's okay. They'll come back. They always come back. I don't know why. They just love it here. I guess housing affordability is hard back then too. All right, forager hut person's in. Storehouse is up. Let's place one family in there. Let's pull out the logging camp. Pause the game real quick. One in the granary. We're gonna have to start... Generic storage is full. That's why we need to get the storehouse up. Hold off on the granary worker. Got one there. I'm gonna take the gent out of the saw pit and put him in the logging camp. Let's just start stockpiling. How much firewood do we have? 7 months. We're going to take the gent out of the woodcutter to help build. Okay. Get this going again. Now, what happens with the hunting camp is if the generic storage gets full of pelts, they stop producing meat. They can't skin the animals. You gotta be really careful. Go. And that was another reason why we were failing. Okay, we got one family down there getting berries. All right, we have a month worth of food. That was close, to be honest. Got 2 more families. Okay, we're in good shape, but we do need to worry about our food situation here pretty soon. Oh, the bandits took my pelts. Okay. We can start selling pelts early too, as a way to generate some additional funds. We got a bandit camp down. Okay, let's remove one from the logging. Put it in the saw pit. Got 2 more families, multiple families down here. There we go. Look at that. We got lots of food now. Okay. So I'm going to put the small church right here. We're going to give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room, I think. So I'm going to place it here and here. So now we can do basically a whole bunch of chicken houses around this area. Let's give some room. You can definitely make it pretty tight, but I want to make sure that we can get everything we want. Now let's pause and get rid of all the corpse pits. Interestingly enough, the church does not have like an in and an out, right? So I probably should have done road the whole area in here. That way they can walk through it and potentially make things a little bit better. There's some interesting ways that you can do things here. You could do it like this, right? Boom to boom, like that. Okay, yeah, and everybody here has a plot. I like this. This is cool. And then the granary worker just has to run down the road here, and he can do a loop-de-loop and get all the chicken eggs. That's actually pretty good. That was just an idea. I was just like, that'd be kind of cool to have a church. Like, I was thinking about doing it with taverns and centralizing a lot. So let's get up our market stalls. I'm going to put them right next to this area here. 3 is not a whole lot. You can have multiple market areas, so... Alright, 3 is good enough for now. 1 family in the granary. Let's increase the capacity of the storehouse. Let's put another family in the logging camp. Alright, let's let them catch up a bit here. There's a lot of work to do. This is looking pretty sharp already. And we're actually not going to try to expand our population too quickly. We're going to expand it at a natural pace. Pretty easy to grow now. And in order to grow properly, you really do need to have a good proximity of resources. So we're not in that situation here. I do believe we need 2 more families. We'll just do 1 expansion here. We'll have 1 extra family that we need to get our 20 pop. Just make sure everything lines up. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. 1 house does... Okay, there we go. Everybody gets an expansion. Perfect. Does look a little one-sided, but it's alright. I think what we're going to do here is kind of blend the road in right there. And actually down here, we can have more market stalls. Here we go. Market stalls aren't as important as they used to be as far as like having perfect proximity. So, alright, we're going to put a well here. A well here. And why not? A well right here in the industry area. There we go. This is looking pretty sharp. Upgrade a hitching post. We'll get 1 family in the woodcutter's lodge right now, actually, since we have family that just moved in. Perfect. Animals are good. Things are looking up for us. I think actually we're gonna delete this. I think this would be better for more agriculture down here and this area here. So what I want to do is kind of circular area this as well. There we go. And we'll try the same thing over here. Have a well in the design itself. Looking pretty sharp actually. 100% on everything. Droughts are pretty vicious though. I think what we're gonna do, for my own sanity, delete this road and line these things up a bit better. There we go. You can see we're getting kind of a shield design. Okay, so this is going to be an orchard. This is going to be veggies. This is also going to be veggies, and this is going to be veggies. Very good. There we are with our 20. Let's go out and get some sweet cash. Perfect. Alright, don't let them run. You want them to have very little fatigue. That's how you survive these encounters without losing individuals. So let's get to right about here. You want them too thick. If you have them stringy, you're more likely to lose people. We got 1 gen over there. Oh, we got 1 right there. Okay, let's get this guy first. Put them on stand your ground. This absorbs charge damage. Right, here they come. We did not get our fatigue all the way up where I wanted it, but that's okay. Oh, that's a nice background. Alright, so they're gonna come in and... So this is the charge. We've absorbed charge damage. And then at this point, you right-click twice, and you push forward on them. Beautiful. Alright, this is always a little boring to me, so I'm just going to speed it up. There we go. Nobody died. Go get the money, and we can immediately start getting veggies and other things going in our village. Alright. So let's bring it to the nearest town. Gonna turn off run to position. So there's a new feature called Shield Wall. That's for arrow blocking. It does not work well against banditos. Alright, so we're gonna let them move over here now, and we're gonna come over here with our newfound wealth and start plotting. Okay, so we want a lot. I want carrots. We are gonna convert this to a small holding eventually. Let's actually start expanding. Ooh, we can go to Burger's Plot level 2. So let's get some of these houses into tier 2 Burger's Plots. This gen over here has a chicken. We want to get as many tier 2s as possible. I do know in future patches they're going to make it so that the penalties for not like having booze and stuff like that at tier 2 aren't so severe. They're already, quite honestly, not very severe anymore. It's not like before where as soon as you go to tier 2, you need to immediately start producing alcohol. So you can go into tier 2 a lot faster than what we were used to. It's pretty awesome. And this, you can see that the shape I'm using here, what it does is it the first cell is used for storage. So if it's wide and long, it's a pretty big area that's cut out. But when you do it like this, it pushes that area back a bit. You get some really good farmland going sideways, I've noticed. It's actually kind of cool. Let's come down to these parts over here. And I'll be working on a bunch of burgage plot guides, and I plan on playing around here. I am going full-time starting February 2026. I got some, honestly, some pretty exciting stuff happening in 2026 too. Some stuff I'm working on with some gaming companies, and things are looking up. So I'm hoping with my newfound time, I can really start getting back to my roots, and I will be posting stuff on the guide channel a lot more frequently. And the reason I have a guides and long play channel is because of the way the algorithm works. And I'm not going to get into technicals, but you gotta trust me. It's just the way YouTube works. The two audiences are different. So, you know, if a movie, someone who just wants guides doesn't want to watch a movie. He doesn't click on the movie, it tells YouTube that this movie sucks, right? So by hyper-focusing your channels on certain niches, you get way more impressions and way more views because of that, and way more discoverability. So that's the reason for that. And that's why it's unfortunately the way YouTube works. They don't allow you to have different content styles very easily. All right. We may lose someone just because we were a little fatigued, but I think we're doing okay. Wow, we didn't lose anybody. Cool. So we're going to come over here. I am actually going to take this money into the town as well. We're most likely going to be able to fend off the banditos, I think. I'm feeling pretty confident in myself. All right, we have 4 free families. Okay. So we have... we're going to upgrade all these guys to Burgers Plot level 2. Okay. We'll do beetroots and Burgers 2. Now, I'm not going to do... On these guys, I think I'm going to leave them alone. And what we're going to do is we're going to build proper. We're going to build properly, I should say. We're going to build huge ones. So I've seen some people get away with more. So there's a 0.25 ratio per family for veggies, and a 0.5 ratio I've been using. And by 0.5, I mean 0.5 Morgans. So a corpse pit is 0.25 Morgans, essentially. And what you do with that knowledge is you can basically, for 4 families, you could have a 1 Morgan plot. I've seen people get away with more. Now, if they're completely focused on that, I think we can get away with 6. So here's what I want to do. Is I want to create super soldiers. No, I want to create an area down here. It's going to look about like this. All right, so basically what I did is I outlined the area. I identified the center. And we're going to try out some kind of wacky stuff. Need this gone. Now, you used to be able to use windmills for this, but recently I've had to start using hitching posts. So you place a hitching post dead center. This allows you to do a ring around the rosy kind of thing. Now, it doesn't snap like it used to. What you gotta do is baby it in a little at a time. Oh god, and never mind, it looks awful. They really messed it up. Just do it by hand. Just do it by hand. Yeah, there used to be a time when making circles was easy. And this isn't a bad circle. It's not a good circle. It's not a great circle. The circle we get. There we go. So what I want to do is take this plot like such. Bust it out like that. And so you're going to get a pretty highly inefficient plot this way, right? You want it to be like a square, basically. The longer it is, because what's going to happen is your point of drop-off is going to be here, so they're going to be walking all the way to the corner, right? So now that we have the center, we're going to remove the sides, right? I was basically just trying to get this right here. I have the foundation. And we're going to eyeball this And I'm going to create essentially a giant baseball diamond. And again, it presents the exact same problem. So this is kind of the silly thing, is that it doesn't work that well. What you need to do is keep it like this. I wish I could do something cool, but if I want it to be efficient, it needs to be kind of flat like this. I'm using the middle circle area here to kind of push it at an angle. So this isn't like crazy efficient. What we can do is point here, third point here. We'll do the second point there. All right, we're gonna have to do a straddle. This is why I like using circles. There we go. There we go. That's a proper straddle right there. We almost have it. Sometimes you just have to try different directions. There we go. There's a bit of a Frankenstein thing going on here. Let's see, how big is this plot? This is exactly 1 Morgan, so it's like perfect for 4 families. So the concept here is you could go a little bit bigger, but as I showed you, you're gonna lose the inefficiency. However, I would argue, if all they do is this one job, how much do you actually have to think about it, right? There will eventually be 4 families here. The real bottleneck here, of course, is cost. There we go. Yeah, loves those corners. There we go. That's not bad. It's also not great, but it's not bad. You're gonna have your drop-off point here. You're gonna have a lot of inefficiencies. That's 2 Morgans. I like it. I think that's an absurd... This is gonna be expensive. It's gonna be a goal. And we're gonna do carrots here. Go and drag this down. Just right. There we go. Beautiful. That's a lot. I think we lost about a more, like, so yeah, 1.75. I think we can do that with a small holding. So that will be 1. And it really likes angles, so if you're trying to get like a big plot, it really likes angles. Oh, I like that. It's almost perfect. There we go. There we go. Okay, there's another one. Now we can delete the roads that we used and wrap them around better. Might have another granary in the center section. More housing. Go. I think we'll go for a super plot right here too. This is an interesting one. Yeah, you can do that. That was the worst plot I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, sometimes they just don't want to behave. I like these. I like these as just regular plots. This is probably going to be just a house with a backyard extension. We're just going to do it. We're going to start filling in the areas. Okay, I think we're making it. We got 2 big ones down here. And we'll continue just to kind of surround the area with these. Alright, here come our gents. Disband them, get them back to work. I'm going to put 2 families into the large storehouse. Alright, we have another market area down here. Perfect. Everything's coming together pretty well. I don't like the way that the fences kind of bend sometimes, but it's alright. And these are going to be veggies. Oof, we lost a good chunk there, but that's alright. So here's our drop-off point all the way in the corner. Same over here. Really inefficient, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. That's, to be honest, like the long, boring plots are typically the best thing to do here. You just put 6 of the, like, oh yeah. If you want efficiency, it's just this. It's just 6 corpse pits like that. There you go. You got your 1.5 Morgans. You're gonna make a lot of veggies. Whatever you put in here is going to be awesome. Simple. Keep it simple. See that? Perfect. Boom. Don't have to overthink it. I like having them kind of blend in, right? We're going to align this road down here. We're going to sideways this there. Perfect. This will be another plot at some point. I like the little loop-de-loop though here I got going on. We are running out of food. So we want to stop growing for a little bit. Let's pause the game. Okay, we got carrots, we got that. Let's get some cabbages going. Get that to tier 2. Alright, we'll have a big old wad of food coming in next year. We may lose some people because I've been growing a little too fast. Here, vegetable garden. Vegetable garden. I think over here we'll start doing orchards. This should be pretty sufficient. Probably put another granary over here. So we're going to need to start getting some stone. Let's pause the game real quick. We'll get that surface stone right there. Okay. We have a tier 2 right here that we need to make a boyer. We're making some bows. Also going to get up a trading post. I like to place it closer to certain things. We're going to place it right here. Start trading pelts, stone, anything else. Okay, we got a lot of families, so look at this. Let's place another individual into the granary. Things are looking up. It's going to be pretty pricey, though, for a lot of this stuff. And we're not going to increase the capacity of these housings just yet. This is going to be an orchard. We could have a food issue here in a second. This will all be remedied shortly once we get our first harvest in. Probably pull that up to tier 2. This road back here. Alright. All the chickens will go in this area here eventually. Alright, let's upgrade the granary. We gotta hold off on building houses for a little bit. But this is looking pretty sharp. So far we're just hanging in there. It's alright. Always kind of happens when you have such a large straddle. Alright, trade post is up. Let's start being smart here. I like to import up to 5 tools at any given time. For rubble stone, we'll sell anything over 60 for now. Pelts, we're going to export all of them. Right now they're just a trade item in the game. That's a lot of money right there. So we're in good shape already. We'll start selling stone, start selling pelts. That's going to bring in some cash. And we can start doing some smarter things. Okay, so over here, put a cap on bow and arrow. 32. That feels good to me. And let's get archers. There we are. 19. Now it's time to start getting that money train going. You can see that these are going to cost us 352. Cabbage is like one of the best to sell in my opinion. You can grow a lot of it. Carrots and cabbage are really, really good. And we might start with some chickens here, but I think with the veggies coming in soon, start to get some good food. And I think we're going to get this iron right now, just to get it out of the way for future building. Come down here and put a mining pit on it. See, what else do we have? We got clay all the way down there. I'll probably just buy it at that rate. Alright, we got a bandit camp. Oh, nice. Right next to us. Let's go get that bandit camp. That's some money. Alright, we do not want them to run. Alright, the bandito. Looks like the Lord is moving in on the banditos as well. Where is his forces located? Oh, they're probably right next to me. We will be ready. We have a bandito coming in. Okay, there he is. He's coming in from over there. Coming in from down here. We could have just let him attack and steal it. It's one of my favorite things to do. However, you do get influence points, and so by denying him those influence points, it takes them longer. Here they come. And your ground. Let him engage. Oh, we lost already. Okay. You win some, you lose some. Go see if we can get some points. Oh, we almost got the first hit there. Okay. Put this into the town. I don't even care anymore. We're gonna pull back. Oh, I accidentally... No, I didn't lose anybody. That's right. When I put the archers in, it just took one gen out. Okay. Well, that sucks. Sometimes if you get the first hit, you get the points, too. Okay, so let's see what I can do here. I would love to get these carrots, but we need an absurd amount of money. Okay. Here, here, here. Let's expand these two here. I think we should go the distance. I really just want to get this guy going with the carrots. And we're going to place a granary here and a granary here. This is going to be the happening place. We get roads coming in like such. There we go. Like a trident. I like it. Okay, we got some berries coming in, hopefully. Let's place two families down here. Let's actually, and let's upgrade Herb Garden. I guess they do work now to help keep people from getting sick. So we'll do that. Let's get another couple forager huts down here, though. We have more pantry room down there for the berries, since it's going to take forever. And let's get a better road system here. There we go. Now they got a back door. Granary workers can run all the way down here. I may end up just having to place a granary down here to keep it efficient, but we'll get to that point later. Okay, and let's put 3 people in this mine and just get it done. Perfect. Let's double this burgers plot here. I think we can go bigger on these guys, but we need a lot of money. I actually think the trade post should be down here. I should probably remove this granary actually over here. Because agriculture is going to be what I primarily sell. Alright, people are hungry. There might be some starvation, but it's okay. Just a little starvation never hurt anybody, right? Okay. So I'm going to place the trade post right here. That way we can pull everybody down here. I'm going to delete this gent here. I'm going to pop these dudes out, 1 and 1 each. Band them both. We're gonna get proper. We're gonna have a little empire here. I'm cool with the marketplace being there and over here. I think that's great. And I'm actually impressed that my ox addiction has not kicked in. Something must be terribly, terribly wrong with me. We also, as part of our perk, have the ability for like a 50% chance of increasing. Yeah, so we can get a lot of trees. Let's get the forester out here. We're wood rich. Let's order an ox, upgrade hitch and post. We're going to have a good yield this year. Alright, and this leaves plenty of room. I like this idea, though, of building around the church like this. Probably should have left a little bit of room. But that's okay. Let's do this. Do corner to corners. Maybe the church should have some things in it, but not too much. Make it look kind of cool. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. I like shapes. Okay. We're gonna put the trade individuals down here. I'm gonna straight up delete this for now. Perfect. And food is an issue. Oh, I know what we can do here. I know exactly what we do here. I was thinking sheep, but the problem is I need the central location. This would be a cool place for sheep. All the efficiency will bother me, but it would look really, really cool. Okay, so we're going to need a livestock trader, and we can place that over here for now. I want to get the sheep up as fast as possible. If I place a sheep farm here, he's going to have to travel a little bit of a distance, but nothing too crazy. What I like to do is place the sheep guy in the center and have everything around him. But that's not going to happen here. But I actually think that this might be cooler. Is we have all these little areas here around the church. We can place sheep. And we only need about 32 sheep to hit our maximum. And that's another way to make a lot of meat. And there we go. There we go. Okay. Perfect. So now we'll have the sheep all around church. I like it. I think it will look great. Let's place one individual in the livestock trader. One into the sheep farm. Couple problems though. Is we really do need to get a little bit more agriculture going. So carrots. And carrots. We'll start trading carrots here in a second. Once I start getting more food. Well, we can, I mean, honestly, I can just set it up now. There's no reason not to. We don't need to have a trade route for it, but we should. Be like the first trade I buy is this. Anything over 100 carrots we sell. Anything over 100 beetroots we sell. And that's a cheap, they don't sell for much, but you know, it is what it is. But carrots sell for 3, and that's really good. It's more than shields, which is kind of stupid. That's kind of why I think they're a little broken. All right, livestock trader. We were gonna import 4 sheep. Now we'll get us started. 1 family in there. Okay, so we have quite a bit of room. Enough for 165, which is overkill. It just looks nice. Upgrade these hitching posts. We're gonna have to buy a horsey soon. Alright, so now it's all about making money. Take a peek. Alright, we got pretty much everybody there going. This is looking pretty sharp from up top. We're positioned very, very well now. But I just need to start trading as much as possible. I'm even thinking about making shapestone. Check out our storage situation. Here, yeah. We were getting a lot of the surface. Got quite a bit of stone. Got a good amount of the ore in here now. We're just going to continue to buy tools. I think we're in pretty good shape. Let's place 3 families into the trade post area. We're going to track the movement. Got 100. 98 days. Okay. Speed this up. Primarily what we need to do is just save enough money to get these. That's not bad, to be honest. 339 over here. And 582. Yeah, it's a bit... It's not bad. And we got some good stuff going on over here. Try to get some kind of fruit going here momentarily. I think we're going to have quite a bit of carrots coming in here shortly. Go, starting to make some cash. I'm going to buy the trade route for carrots. 22 iron to go. Alright, we got ourselves another bandito camp. Way out here. I say we go for it. Everything adds up at this stage of the game. We're also getting some sheep, I think. Could have a few. We have 1 sheep so far, okay. We do need about 30 per, so the sooner you can get your sheep going, the better. They do breed, you don't have to buy the perk point for that anymore. And we're just gonna slow boat all the way over here. Looks like the Lord's going for it. We're gonna have to just rush in, steal it from him. I think we can just kind of use our archers. I say we just charge in. Take no prisoners kind of thing. Oh crap, they're heading right for my archers. Like now they're running off. Alright, let's shoot them. As long as I get the arrows Okay, well, I'm not going to try to chase them down. Let's just get the money and get out of here. Kind of funny. I just can't get that influence. Okay. Here's town. Feel confident that the little army we have is sufficient for taking on the bandit wave. 118. Perfect. Enough to get the sheep. If I can just get 4 sheep, they'll start, you know, mating and reproducing. And we're doing pretty good on the food now. Got a little bit of chicken coming in. That's another step we have to take here shortly. I think we are actually at the stage where we can expand. So I think this area right here is kind of good. Get some chicken houses in here. Definitely good to get food variety going. Here we are. 6 more houses in here. Speed this up. Alright, I'm getting people back to work. That's great. Money's starting to pile up. Very good. Wonderful. Once the carrot trade starts to happen, things are going to really pick up. Okay. Expand them, get them back to work. I don't think we're going to have a meat issue because I'm going to get a butcher once I get to 30 sheep and we'll have plenty. But let's order another ox. Don't have enough money right now. Well, I do actually have the money, but there's still an issue where when it's purchasing sheep or doing something that it sets off the timer, which kind of sucks. Okay, yeah, so over here, we're gonna just buy the chickens. Get a little bit of that variety coming in. Now we need to get over like an 85% approval to get the money from the tier 2, the passive wealth. It's 80-85, so that would be one thing that we should probably think about. I'll get the manor up here momentarily, but let's take a peek at what we can do. So food variety is having an issue. Of course, we don't have clothing, but we're working on that. I think we can hit that 85% here pretty quick. We're probably not going to do any taxes or anything for a little bit. Not too worried about the AI enemy right now either. Chilling, getting everything going. Okay. And we got all the iron out of here. That gives us some more families. Things are looking up. We're going to get another orchard in this area. A giant one. It's actually pretty good. It's going to be very big. Okay, we got the 4 sheep. They should start breeding. I think we're going to bring that up to 6. Maybe 6 sheep will breed us faster. Like I said, it's good to get this stuff going as early as possible. Also time now to get the quarry up. I think we're only going to need 1. But let's get to it. I'm going to stop the stone gatherers. We're just going to go all in on the quarry. We can take a road from the tippy top all the way to the storage area here. Faster. There we are. Right. Get a couple people in here. 2. I also want to start making other things that we can sell. So I'm thinking we get a lime kiln. We stop selling the raw stone. And we get, of course, stonemason station. Start mass producing those things too. Selling that. So, for the time being, we're going to... Oh my god, we got so much rubble. Alright. Let's just keep selling rubble. That's kind of crazy. And we got the forester up here a while back. Let's put an individual there. We have a 50% plant chance, so we have some huge advantages when it comes to lumber. Here we are. Things are looking up. More chickens. Food is good. We're going to get hit in 48 turns. 48 days, I should say. Okay, I think we're in good shape. Let's get these guys to tier 2. Heck, let's get everybody to tier 2 that we can. We're going to have clothing here eventually. Quarry is going to give us rough stone and rubble, which we can do mortar. Start selling that. I'm going to cap us at 200. Stonemason station. I'm going to cap us here at around 400. We're also going to get up another storehouse, because this is going to get crazy. If I can, I'm going to get the storehouse like right here. We're going to have a little interesting design. There we go. There we go. Road down there. Perfect. Got that cap. I got one family here. And then now we can start trading these things out as well. So export, we'll need to buy routes for this. Anything over, let's say 100. And for the mortar, anything, let's say over 40. It doesn't sell for a whole lot. Actually, kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I don't know. I have to see the ratio of... It looks like 2 makes 4, so you're doubling. I don't know. We're trading. We're making money. It's probably not that good. It's not a really good, crazy good return. The dress stone. That's where the money's at. So let's say no to the mortar. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's good to have the people making the mortar. Dress stone is where the money's at 5. So that's the route we want to buy. I don't want to clog them up with making something that's not really worth it. We're going to turn the lime kiln off for that reason. We'll let I think stone masonry is where the money's going to be. There's another bandito camp, but we're about to get hit in 7 turns. Get our men out in the field and ready. Okay, good shape. Speed this up. Get these chickens in here. Very good. I think we're actually right where we need to be on a lot of fronts. Okay, they're going to come out right here in the corner. So yeah, right here is a good gap. Use this gap. And in order, we're going to put them on shoot at will, shoot point blank range. We're going to put our gents into stand your ground. The raiders should funnel through this little kill zone. And if they don't, well, that sucks. Here they come. Alright, volley fire. Hopefully we don't hit any of our own people. It does happen. They're coming in kind of like one at a time. This can be slightly dangerous. What I would actually suggest we do is try to get some side shots. So get to a corner. There we go. We can shoot in through the side here. We're going to keep our guys on heavy defense. Like our gents are freaking out right now. There's a lot of good produce needs to be harvested. There we go. Yeah, we're getting some good shots. Speed this up just a tad bit. Alright, so far so good. Shoot at will, the bottleneck is working. As long as they don't come around from the side, we should be good. Very good. Alright, that was 2. There should be a 3rd. Unless sometimes they get routed towards the their lord's units. Alright, let's get into position. I feel like there's one in the woods. Alright, it looks like we got them all. Alright, we're going back. Back to work. So now it's just a matter of sitting back, relaxing, and letting the money flow in. Trying to get up to that 85% approval. We get a bonus approval from food, so that's pretty cool. It doesn't seem to be kicking. We have more than enough people. We have 4 to 3 food types. They're just not doing a good job. So let's put one more worker into the granary. See if we can help shovel some of that stuff in. Looks like we're getting a lot of the berries. Got a few bodies that need to be buried. I think we can hit that high approval here soon. Clothing would definitely be of assistance in that way. Okay, so we have 8 sheep. Okay, they're starting to populate themselves. Great. We need to order another ox. We only have 4 ox. Okay, yeah. I've been not ordering as many ox as I used to. I'm getting better at it. There we go. Now the money's starting to flow in. The fruit is definitely very expensive, so we're going to need to make quite a bit of money to get that going. The carrots are starting to sell. That's good. Cabbage will definitely be selling here shortly. I'm getting some chicken meat and some eggs from the chicken, so that's pretty good. Eventually I'll start getting mutton from the sheep once we get a butcher going. Once we get these guys up. Sheep are like one of the best food sources in the game, quite honestly. You can get hundreds of meat a year with just a couple people. A butcher, basically one sheep farmer, plus the wool and the clothing. It's very lucrative. Yeah, this is looking sharp. Oh, look at that. We're getting close. I'm kind of thinking I should go 1 carrot, 1 cabbage here. We definitely want to have cabbage for trade. It's very, very, very lucrative. We just need 339 there, and over here we would need 352. Once we get one of these going, it's going to feed the others. It just take about a year just to get us to where we need to be. Get ourselves another ox. We don't have too many of them. Ah, here we go. Get some apples going over here. We definitely need to get the fruit coming in. That'll give us another food variety. We do have like the worst farmland in the world. There's basically nowhere to grow barley except for right there. This is one bottleneck in the game they need to remedy as soon as possible. Like, we need to be able to do ciders and other types of alcohol. Because you don't always have a good piece of land. You could, you know, get a territory and then get into trade. That's basically the only effective way to do it. But it's kind of a pain. It's kind of a pain to do that. I like the one city challenges personally. We got ourselves another farm area right here. I kind of like the doles right here. These will just be normal workers. Do that, yeah. There we go. There we go. Made the road a little thick there. I just basically spam roads to get that kind of thickness like that. I like the way it looks. Beautiful. Alright, let's get some veggies in these. These will just be normal workers. I like sometimes doing small little plots like this that have, you know, like just like a quarter Morgan. They can yield a decent amount, and 2, the workers are only working maybe 1 month out of the year on that. Pretty good. All right, look at that quarry go. We're making some cash here soon. Wondering if I should start. I should probably buy the route for dress stone, and we're gonna bust this down to 20 because those are 5 a pop. Okay, that is a lot. Just that one little route right there is probably going to supercharge us. And we should get a full family into the trade post. We do have our warehouse here. Let's put a worker in there, upgrade it. I think we got a good thing going right now, but we need to maintain storage. We got 31 wool. So we need to start producing clothing. Awesome. I think we're in good shape. Get ourselves a weaver's workshop. I'm going to put it right here. And we're going to upgrade this gent right here into a tailor. Perfect. And we should probably focus on getting some crossbow units. So we're also going to need a blacksmith. And I think what we'll do is get a bloomery going. Right here. Get another road system. Things kind of moving in. Bloomery is up. Okay. Get one family in the bloomery. Let's come back over here. Make sure the tailor is set to produce clothing from yarn. So the weaver, place one individual in there. They'll start making yarn now. Blacksmith is going to start producing these little gadgets here. We're going to cap it. Iron parts. Going to come back over to the boyer and switch him to crossbow production, capping that also at 20. So we'll have 20 extra. It will just naturally feed the crossbowmen. Get rid of the archers. They aren't. Okay, so we got ourselves a good thing going there. Starting to get that money coming in. Got stone, we got carrots, pelts. Still got some stone in here. Oh, I did leave it on export. Okay, we're gonna do no trade on this. Oh, I mean, everything adds up, right? There we go, 328. 333. Okay, we're in business now. I just need a couple more pieces of change, and we got the big carrot guy going. There we are. Oh, I got like a penny. They bought some tools. Everything's looking pretty good here, though. Look at that. Yes, money. Money, money. Ooh, that's a lot of trees, actually, for such a small area. We got some peeps back here that I need to focus on. Okay, we should probably go steal that bandit camp. That is going to help us out a lot. Here it is. The Lord's army is moving towards it. Let's just get into position to steal. He's coming from this side over here, coming right at it. Don't want to get too close. Let's wait for it to proc. Once these guys start buggering off towards the enemy, we weep in. Alright. It's ours. The only thing you have to worry about is that they clean it out really, really fast. Which they did. That was actually really close. But we got it. Okay. Bring these guys back home. We have enough for... Ooh, I'm going to go with cabbage, actually, on this guy. We have that cabbage money, and we're going to do a small holding on these. The big ones... So this is what I wanted to use small holdings on, were the big ones. And now we can get up a trade route for cabbage. Alrighty. Yeah, cabbage is going to sell for a lot. We're going to buy that trade route, and we will trade all cabbage over 100. We're going to have thousands of it at this rate. This is a large cabbage farm. So 2 families right now. We need to get this to tier 3. We're going to have to definitely import some stuff. And it's going to be based on proximity. So the best way to deal with proximity is to place like things like the tavern and such right down here. So this isn't a bad spot. We're going to get a tavern right here. It's going to be really expensive, and we're most likely just going to import everything that we need. Let's get the basic infrastructure up for it. Get ourselves up a malt house. And get ourselves up a brewery. We'll just do 2 houses down here. This is actually kind of cool. We got a whole little section. I like this. We can do a whole line of houses down here if we feel like it. And once we get that carrot money, we'll be in good shape. Let's get everyone back to work. This is going to be intense, though. We need to get all the families in here. But this is their entire gem, so they'll just sit there and work on it. I want to see how much we can pump out of that. All right, look at that. Another tier 2 house. Oop. Another expanded living area. We'll tier 2 those in a second. Definitely need to get some more fruit going. But carrots and cabbage, very lucrative. Let's upgrade this tavern. One thing you can do is just stockpile, right? Like stockpile a bunch of malt and then get your brewer going and then upgrade everything and then be set. So we're not going to be able to maintain alcohol production at high rates. So we're going to have windows of opportunity. So we need to get the clothing going. We need to get like a lot of things going. So right now we're just building up to that point. We have a little bit more to do. One of the big things I need to do is get some clay tiles going. Get that church upgraded. So we'll get our gent right over here. Got a good thing going on right there. Building up a good little crossbow army. And we're probably going to run out of iron ore. So crafting materials. Oh, we got 70. All right. Yeah, let's import to maintain 15. It's really, really expensive. It's 11 a pop. We don't have to buy a trade route, which is why I like to do that. Get ourselves another ox. Some hitching posts. The backdrop here. A couple more hitching posts. Never hurt anybody. All right, we're getting close. Let's get this orchard. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if the apiaries would be worth it to get that 10% boost. I don't know. It's 5 houses to get a 10% boost. It's just such a lot of houses. Okay, I'm back here. Let's get the carrots. Get some beetroots going. We only have, now we have 2 plots doing beetroots. There we go. All right, that's looking good. I guess I could have left the granary here. It wasn't hurting anybody. I should have left it there. Makes sense. We could place one individual in here and it can do a lot of good. Let's put it back. All right, 1 individual into the clay furnace. Should probably start looking at doing some charcoal production. Let's place charcoal right here. And let's get 2 in the woodcutter. Starting to run out of firewood. Charcoal will help with that. Get these burgages to tier 2 if we can. Keeping the chickens and everyone else at tier 1 so they don't have a clothing consumption. Get these hitching post stables. There we go. Yeah, we can... no, if we're gonna do this right, we should do it right. I probably should have made these bigger. I'm gonna go crazy. I think if we're gonna do this proper, we should go for a design that is a bit more ambitious. The goal here is take this to the limits, right? I like this middle split here. All right. I don't know how much this is gonna cost, or if it's even gonna work the way I want it to. But I know that I have to do it. I think we can afford it. And the profits, I mean, if we're gonna have a dedicated group of people, right? They should be making me as much money as possible. All right, got the road system back. This is gonna be big. I don't even know if it will do it right. Oh, wow. It actually did it. Oh, wow. Okay. That's probably gonna cost like $1,000. We're gonna have to do a straddle here. There we go. That's pretty good. All right, so I'm stuck on something. This happens occasionally. Gotta be careful. There we go. Not bad, not bad. 1,670% plant cost. Okay. I think we can afford it. Get the clay mine down here. I think we're just going to import clay for the time being. This is where things just get a little pricey. We'll boot that up to 20. Place 1 individual into the charcoal kiln. Once we get a little bit more firewood, pull back on the individual in the woodcutter. Oh boy. Yeah, these are some big plots. So we're gonna get the orchard up here. Get an orchard up here. These will be the big ones. Oh, look at that, we got carrots. Boom. And small holding. Well, let's see what they can do. Alright. We gotta get that clay coming in, and then we can get the church going. Get 2 units of crossbows. Thinking about where I want to place the manor. I kind of like this little spot right here. Garrison right next to it. Boom. Okay, we'll get that going. Goal here is to get our farming up to tier 3. See, the sheep are starting to really take off. We have a little bit of clothing. That's great. That's going to increase that happiness. We're at 80%. Like we need another granary worker. That's good. We got one over here. Upgrade that. We have no available living spaces. Okay. That means I am at a point where I need to start thinking a little bit clearer. I think we are going to pull in a bunch of houses down here. I like this. We do need quite a bit of workers, and we do have an immense amount of food. Let's just do it. Get this section down here. Oh, we got this little middle section here. Yeah, look at that. We put a shrine in there. Get it straight. Oh. Right when I placed it down. There we go. There we go. Got it. I had to click really fast. Perfect. This is looking sharp. Oh, there we go. Yeah, let's have some shrines across the way from our guy down here. Okay, they have quite a bit of work. They have quite a bit of work for themselves now. Fuel for 5 months. Doing good up here. Get this guy to tier 2. Sheep are coming in strong. We got 6 sheep, 16 lambs. That's beautiful. 21 chickens. 6 ox. 6 ox is not enough for a town of this size. Let's get one more. Wow, we're at 420. Okay. So carrots, cabbage. So these are going to cost 1,000 for apples, 531 for quince, and 1,593 for pears. All right. Well, we got a goal. We got a goal. That's going to take a bit. Double up over here. All right, let's go down the line. Looks like we need more logs. We need to start doubling up everything. Really, now that we have the food, we need to start expanding. They got their work cut out for them. So we produce quite a bit, but the pantries are pretty small on these tier 2s. We need to get to tier 3. And we're getting close. I think we have enough for the church, almost. Nope, nope, nope. So it's making me angry. Let's get a couple houses up first, so we can get some more individuals. I need to get clay coming in. Now, yeah, I got clay right here. So they just need to transport it. We can start making anything we want. Let's put a limit of 30. There we are. Upgrading the small church. That should get us over that 85%. And then we're going to start making that passive money. To be honest, though, we're producing so much food right now that we don't even have to worry about it. Carrots, carrots, carrots. Okay. Nice. We can get these guys to tier 2 housing. I'm hoping the forester's doing their job. Doesn't feel like they are. We're doing a good job with the sheep. Looks like we're still a little short on clothing, but that will catch up here soon. Got 2 crossbow units. Yeah, I like the vibe. I like the outline of this too. It's pretty cool. Got multiple tiers to it. All right, one thing I forgot to do, I just realized, is in the livestock. Oh, no, I did do it. I just didn't do the whole row. Okay, let's get another horsey. More horsies, the better. We can start flushing out this cabbage and carrots. We're doing pretty good, though. It looks like we're selling the majority of it. Go over to our records and check out our exports. Look at that cabbage. Ooh, 1,000. Yeah, this is a good setup. Honestly, funny enough, stone used to be the worst resource. Now it's a really good one for trade. So we're doing pretty decent over here. And we have everything we need to build a cool fort, so we'll do that. But I was thinking it was having the walls kind of ebb and flow with the surrounding area right here. It'd be kind of cool. Right, we're getting them families moving in. Got a lot of houses to build up. Looks like the ox are having an issue. I wonder if there's an ox glitch, which is why we're not seeing these houses being developed. No, they have all the wood. It's just a low amount of families, and I believe it's the manor too. The manor's taking up a lot of time. 716, we're getting close. Yield excellent, 147. These are bad yields. We're not gonna be able to see the real proper yields until later. Gotta give it time to catch up. All right, look at them go, digging away. All right, get ourselves another horsey. Upgrade these hitching posts behind it. Make sure we have enough room. Or in front of it, we got hitching posts all over. Yeah, I kind of like the sheep around the church. Kind of cool. I also like the little loop-de-loop here. It adds some flavor. Looks neat from up top. You can see all the details. I like it. There we go. Now we got the houses going. What do we got going on over here? Okay, castle. So now I'm at a point. I need the money to get these guys going, but I really want to start thinking about the castle over there. But we got to hold off. We got to get that money. And we've sold off a massive amount. Now we are selling carrots. They're here. And the one trade post still seems to be the most efficient way to sell things just because of the way that it splits attention. And apparently they're working on a massive overhaul for trade, but for now we're just going to keep the one trade post. And I'm hoping once they get trade working properly that we can build some cool things. But I think that's a bit of a ways off. So let's start expanding all of these houses that we missed. And we're not going to do holdings on these. These are just like your everyday people, right? You need your everydays. All right, get this to tier 2. Perfect. Starting to build up some clothing. Yeah, we got 13 clothing. Perfect. Keep all the chickens, keep all these guys at tier 1. I'm kind of thinking that meat is holding us back, but I know that once I start getting the mutton, it won't. However, with that said, I think a line of pigs could be beneficial. And I think on the right side, we'll do the 5 apiaries. So we're going to do pigs down here. And since they only yield, you know, once a month-ish, they don't need to be too crazy close to the granary. Because they're only transporting like a little bit, right? Right, so we need 5 of these apiaries. 4. 4 is good. Feel good with 4. That's a big goal. No wool, no yarn, iron slabs. We're doing a pretty good job. Ooh, that's one thing I forgot to set. Over the bloomerate. Let's make sure that we cap iron slabs at like 20. We're just importing infinite iron ore, which is 11 a pop. Very, very expensive. Getting ourselves up an army. We got our manor up. So eventually I will need to cut down all these trees. I think we're going to get a lumber. I just kind of want to cut. I want to get the wood from this. So let's do that. Cut it all down. I know I could just place objects over it to do it too, if I just wanted to get rid of it. But I'd like to get the wood. Wood is, you know, a valuable thing. Fuel's right about there, so we'll leave it alone. Not bad. Yeah, the apiary should help. Now we're going to go down the line. Spend our hard-earned money on pigs. Now keep in mind, I should have said this, the small holding increases production by 20%. So whatever your production is times 1.2 will give you essentially what you'd be producing. So you don't want to do it, you need to have a high volume in order to justify it. 1 meat times 1.2 is 1.2 meat, okay? It's a terrible investment. But on something like this where you're getting 400, right? That's an extra 80. So that is when it's worth it. That's a lot. That's a lot of cabbage. And even then I would actually argue it's not worth it. It's honestly, they need to rethink it, because having 4 people who can do nothing else for just like such a modest gain, like I could have 4 fields, you know what I mean? And then they could do wood cutting. It's just, to me, it feels like a bad investment. Okay. So let's get all this wood. We got families moving in. We got plenty of food. You can see it's really starting to look at the carrots and the cabbage now. So we almost don't want too many more things to trade. Did I buy a cabbage route? I don't think I did. Okay, I did. Phew. Okay, exporting the cabbage. Perfect. Apples. Yeah. So we're gonna set up apples for trade. Anything over 120. We're gonna set up pears for trade. Anything over 120. Eventually, let's just buy the route. We got a lot of money. Oh, no, I shouldn't have done that. I should buy the apples. Okay, get the apples going. And this is going to be a small holding. Kind of the concept here is test out the small holdings, right? I need to get the tier 3 on this pretty badly. So they don't have enough clothing and they don't have booze, but we're getting really close. If I need the 2 extra families on these plots, is what I need. That was a lot of money. a lot of money. But things are coming together. This is looking, I kind of like the organic. I'm trying to build a little bit more organically and just have fun with it. And there's a lot of cool things you can do. All right, piggy, piggy, piggy. Piggy time. And this meat will help us out. We're at 84%. I want to hit that 85. Once I hit 85%. Or is it 80? Passive burgage level 2 and 3. Okay, so it's just... Crap, it went to 85. No, you can see it on the gauge. It's 80%. Yeah, at 80%, you get the +1 passive for level 2. You get +1 passive for level 3 at a lower approval. So it's kind of funny. I kind of feel like they should reverse it, but whatever. And so, yeah, we're doing good. Now we have a massive passive income. So let's get that piggy. I don't do goats because you get hides from the sheep, and I find it better. All right, we're in good shape. Now we just need people to move in, but we're going to get the benefits from a lot of this stuff. Over here, I mean, great, man. Let's just make a vegetable garden in it. A little bit of a vegetable garden. It doesn't matter. I wonder how much it's going to cost. Probably going to cost a lot. There seems to be like a minimum. So I'll have to look into that too. Do some deep research here. And then we're going to get the pears going over there. So what's great is we are actually at a point where we got a good economy. We got a lot of cabbage. We got a lot of carrots. But we're not at the full productive capacity because we've not hit tier 3. So buying alcohol and things like that are going to be the next step. So once we purchase everything, what should I do here? Let's do some beetroots over there. Yeah, a little bit of beets. Once I get everything going, then we can start reinvesting our money into the preparation for tier 3. Buy ourselves another ox. All right, we're back up to $1,000. So we're gonna be able to generate quite a bit of money here. Right now, we're just in that bulk up stage. You're using the, you know, all your investments. Honestly, stone really kind of made this work. So you kind of, I think like heavy stone and just basic agriculture, you can build a pretty robust economy. And the new trading system is going to throw this up on its end because you can easily oversaturate or conquer certain industries, and then you have to buy merchants and merchant points, and so it's going to get really interesting, or should I say kind of complicated. I know a lot of people have voiced to me that they're not very fond of that, but we'll see what it is, right? We'll see what it is, and it may be a very, at first glance, it may be very confusing, but I will do my best to lay it out in a simple way that makes it a useful feature for people. You may like it once you understand it. And hopefully I can get my hands on it before it comes out. I doubt it though. I probably could. I just have to like talk to people. I don't like talking to people. Here we go. Okay, we're in good shape over here. Starting to build up a lot of clothing. You can see we have 50 excess clothing. Manor's doing great. All right, let's open that castle planner. So first we need to get an established area for where the entry is. I'm going to make the entry right here. Second, we need to get up walls. Commit to the roads. Oh, I didn't realize when you built roads in the castle planner, they had to go build. Oh, okay. You can just use the road tool and skip all that. So that was dumb. All right. Let's place walls. So what I want to do is this. I want to kind of not enough goods. Okay, so what do we need to do all this? An insane amount of boards. Okay. So we're going to need an insane amount of resources. Go to the saw pit. So this is why you kind of want to think in the background. Okay, what do I want to do at a future point? Let's go up to 450 boards. We're already clear cutting everything. Let's also permanently assign an ox to the saw pit. Feed this bad boy up. It looks like we're running out of fuel. I am going to relocate the woodcutter over here. We're going to place another family member into the charcoal kiln. We're going to max out the woodcutter here in a second. Get these guys going. Got a lot of good sheep. We're at 1731. Look at, there we are. So you can see with a good economy, it's actually very doable to pay these insane fees. And now we have large areas that we can invest the small holding into. I've never properly done a small holdings build, so I thought this would be fun. And then we'll get the woodcutter's lodge going. full capacity, and no one will freeze to death. It will be beautiful. We have 17 sheep, 20 lambs. Once we hit 32 sheep-ish, I will start slaughtering them, and we will get the hides. You can also just straight sell shoes, and shoes are very, very lucrative. So there's a lot you can do just playing the agricultural side of this game. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of ways to play this game. I think that's what makes it fun. Okay, we got the majority of the trees. We're going to need a lot of wood. I'm going to start clear cutting this area down here because we are mass producing boards. We have now properly invested all of our money, so we have no further plots that need to be purchased. So we can start investing into the booze. I'm going to hold off. We're just going to start stacking a ton of money, getting ready for that push that I was talking about. And we have a pretty good army. Now, we are getting good passives, but I do need money, so I'm going to put a 100% land tax now, 10% land tax. That's going to, unfortunately, push us under 85, so we're going to lose that +1 per tier 1 house, which does suck, but it's necessary in order for us to build up our retinue, and we can turn it off once I get a full retinue. Stonemason, we're going to put another family member in there. Production limit, let's put this up to 5. They're not even going to come close to that. We'll need a lot of boards. I'm also going to need to move this guy to the other side. Let's move him down here. What I'm wanting to do is just wall in this whole area. I'm actually wondering how... Let's open this up. It used to be you can click wall gates, and then you can... I'll show it, yeah. Select it, upgrade it, that. That's going to cost 50. So if you downgrade, put at the wall, that will also cost 50. So 50 and 50. So we're going to need both boards and all of that heavy stuff. So this is where it gets tricky. Just to map out the area alone is going to cost quite a bit. That's not bad. Anyway, up it, make sure everything connects, right? All right, and then the most important part is you have to put outer towers. This is what they climb onto the wall from. Oh no. All right, let's just snap it into place. There we go. Okay, cool, we got towers. So we have it all mapped out. So we need 331 boards, 244 logs. I am an ambitious man. Okay, so 240 logs. I've been told logging camps don't require tools as long as you're not working them, and they can still be used to store the wood. So logging camps require quite a bit of resources. Okay, so the 28, so we need like 10 of these. Okay. All right, let's try it. Right. Okay, so unfortunately, I'm going to have to remove one of my most lucrative things. We're going to put this to 400. Let them start. All right, so we're going to start building up all the resources we need to do this correctly. We're going to need a lot of logs. Let me see if I got that right. Yeah, it says... Oh, maybe I got that wrong. Oh, it's all off. Sorry, we have 62 here. It's only... Okay. Okay. It's 38. It's down. Okay. TactiCat got a little carried away. But we learned an important lesson. Reading comprehension is important. But to be fair, it was all, you know, not cool. It's all weird. All right, we'll just build a few of these because we do need to store logs anyway. Okay. I feel better about myself. So that means that I need 42. Okay, yeah, 321, 331. So my 400 figure is pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay. So we're going to build up to that, and then we'll get ourselves a nice castle. You can see we're selling a lot of the food, which is amazing. We have fuel for 2 Well, let's get 3 families over there. Okay, we're back in business. Let's also get ourselves a forester over here. Replant all that. Beautiful. So now we have 2 kind of competing priorities. Getting up a cool castle. And trying to see if we can get a good amount of trade over here. So we have these individuals located, but we need to get to tier 3. So we need to get the booze going. Now, there's a couple ways to do this. I think the best way is actually to import both the barley and malt. Where you can kind of double up, but we need to get a good amount of money. So we're just going to let things kind of run in the background for a tad. I'm going to keep these guys at tier 1 so that they're not consuming clothing. Over here, we're getting close on the boards. We're a little bit off on the stone. We will get there. Got plenty of storage now. Nice. We got the forester over here. Get this big area like that. We have a lot of individuals, even with the dedicated teams out there. So that's good. Always good to have a couple spares. We'll start. Wow. How many sheep we have? 20 sheep, 24 lambs. Once we hit 30 sheep, we're gonna get the butcher up. And I think just one individual over here, or sorry, we have 2. See. I think we're able to process all the wool. Yes, we are. Charcoal firewood, they're doing pretty decent. Bloomery's doing decent. Clay furnace is going strong. Order another ox. They're planting the trees right now for the pears. They're still planting trees over here for the apples. They have to plant all that stuff by hand now, so that's kind of crazy. It looks like we're getting some of the trees coming back over here. But we're able to sell quite a bit. Alright, now I think we have a good enough economy to start trying out some stuff. Let's pop down here. So I accidentally put a pig here. We need to cancel out the pig. Sometimes when you cancel stuff out, if the pantry's full, causes issues. I think we're okay. It's kind of weird that we have planks. So we're going to turn this into a brewery. There we go, 4 out of 6 planks. That's from the upgrade. 1 individual into the malt house. Oh, 2 individuals, okay. And we're going to cap our malt at 40. This is where things can get a little tricky. So what I'd like to do is start to import malt up to 20 at a time. And then we're also going to import barley. Alright, and we're going to buy that trade route. Now 140 barley at any given time. Now you could put a cap on the amount of alcohol that's produced, but sometimes it causes issues. It can get a little weird. We're going to place 2 families into the tavern. This will hit up to 50 burgage plots. We have 37, so we're in good shape. We don't need another one. And we're going to try to push for tier 3 now. Once we get the booze coming in. So we're doing it on 2 fronts. We're importing malt and we're importing the barley to make our own malt, setting a limit so that we don't just continuously import barley. We're doing pretty decent. 20 iron slabs. Okay, everything's good. We have full units of crossbowmen. Pretty much take any army that comes at us. And all we need now is the hooch. Now we could try to produce our own barley, and they were supposed to have increased the barley production by 50% on terrible land, but we are being hit by banditos. We will muster our forces. They're coming from the top up here. Perfect. I think we're going to fight them in the fields right down here. We'll just get 2 units of crossbow. We're going to go through these guys like butter. They're not really a threat. Get everybody over here. Alright, put them in the stand your ground. Back these guys up, stand ground. We're in good shape. Oh, they're in burn everything to the ground mode. So we just need to get their attention. I'm going to send our retinue up. Oh, here they come. Get our guys in the back. It can be a little weird sometimes. I've noticed the AI has kind of gotten odd in the most recent patch. Sometimes they just kind of sit there, having a spiritual moment or something. Alright, crossbowmen away. We're going to start dropping them like flies here in a second. Already got a few of them. Oh yeah. Tearing them down. Okay, well, let's speed this up. They're nobodies. Boom, boom, boom. I want to get these guys back to work. There we go. One last unit. Let's charge him on the field. And he's out. Okay. Now I can get all my guys back to work. We have 2 free families. Kind of going through everything. I think we're doing decently enough. Quarry, we got... Let's place 3 people down there. Trying to actually look at what we got going on here. 120 dressed, 100 rubble. I'm not seeing any... It's all dressed. Interesting. We have 1 ref stone. Okay, yeah, we definitely needed... Let's actually just bump that up to the whole thing. And then we can come down here. Start peeking around. We have nobody. Okay. Place 1 family here. Fuel for 7 months. I don't think we need all the people in the woodcutters here. We're going to need to start bringing some of this down a little. I need a free family or 2. Okay, yeah, got the woodcutter. Oh, look at that. We got tier 3. Okay, so the booze is in. So now we want to hit as many... These guys especially need to be tier 3. Okay, so animal produce and fruits are not met, and that sucks. That sucks a lot. So the fruits should start coming in here shortly. Okay, let's pause real quick. I think we should attempt to get tier 3 on anything we possibly can. I'm just going to do it. Right? Alright. Speed this up. Get some more families in. We need a little bit more workers. But these guys especially right here, I wanted to get to tier 3. Alright, the hooch is coming in. We have still an insane amount of money, but it's going pretty quick now. I'm hoping when we get the 4 families in on these plots, we can get a little bit more carrots. A little bit more cabbage. And let's see where we're at with the castle. A little bit of wood and a lot of dress stone still. Okay, we got a lot ahead. So let's get these guys built up. This is looking good. This area is going to be popping here soon. Alright, perfect. Okay, between all the fruits coming in and everything, we should be in good shape here shortly. I do know they're talking about, like, needing textiles to be level tier 3 in order to happen. They're talking about some weird stuff. They're talking about changing the requirements for certain artisan buildings to be tier related. So tier 2 and tier 3, so you will actually have to have tier 3 buildings for certain things. And I'm not sure how that will work. Now we could increase, we could double this. To, goes from 3 tools to 12. It will double production. I'm not going to do that because I don't need to. Just letting you know that's why I'm not doing it. I feel pretty good at the production we have. But you could make a lot more money. Well, you know what? It pays for itself almost. Do it. And we're making our own blooms now. And I think we have enough crossbowmen. So we're going to go down to the bowyer shop. I'll just keep it there. We're going to change the blacksmith over to tool production. And have him make up to 25 tools at any given time. You can see we're burning the cash, though, with the alcohol. So the alcohol thing isn't really sustainable, to be quite honest. At 13. So we need to get all this going. And what I'm going to do now is turn the trade off for alcohol production. So when you're playing like this, and this is why I was saying they need to let us produce alcohol in different ways. So turn off malt. And turn off barley. We got what I wanted, which was a bunch of tier 3 housing. Beautiful. So now we're going to have 4 families coming in here. But you need a lot. You need multiple grains, produce, alcohol, boots to keep them happy. But you don't have to provide all that, to be honest. So here we go. Productivity, labor, transportation. Only have 2 people right now, so we have 12 spots for 12 more families that are about to move in. Actually pretty crazy. Let's put 3 over here into the logging camp, get them cutting. check out our fuel is doing, I think, pretty good with 2 families there, and put 2 families into the charcoal kiln. Burn that firewood faster. We got 48 honey. Now, honey can only be traded at this point in time. They have changed it. Used to be able to consume it, so you... pretty much all this stuff, I have nothing I can do with it. So we're just going to export all honey. It sells for 4 a pop. Same with wax. Export all of it over 0. I don't like to put too much stuff in here, but that's just the way it is. Okay, so cabbage we have a trade route. Apples we have a trade route. Pears we do not have a trade route for. Okay, we need to get that going. Got a lot of good tier 3 houses now. We didn't have to do tier 3 over here. I just kind of wanted the extra workforce. Definitely needed to do it on these big guys down here, though. So they're not even utilizing all of it. That's what I was kind of getting at, is there is a maximum. 2 families can do about 1 Morgan. This is a little under 2. So once we get those families out here, I think we're going to be at full production capacity. Okay. Look at that. 30 sheep, 38 lamb. So now we need to come over here, and we need to build out a butcher. And we need to watch this. I am notorious for starting to build a butcher, then coming back and realizing it has slaughtered all the sheep. So as soon as they get this up, we need to change it and set some limits. But we got a good thing going over here. Okay. There we are. Advanced tab. So what we're going to do is set it to 40. Now 30 is all you need, but I want the wool. And no reservation on lambs. We want them to slaughter all the lambs. And now we got mutton. And we're going to get some hides. So we're probably going to get into some shoe production here shortly. Got 30 sheep. I don't think I'll go through all the lambs that quickly. I'm hoping 30 sheep is all you need. So I set the limit at 40. Although I think he's going to go to the lambs here pretty quick. And some people have reported bugs where it just kills all the sheep anyway. But I haven't seen that happen yet. Alright, we're getting rich. Get that retinue up. Getting ready for war. And we're getting close. We just need a little bit more dressed stone. That's going to be a big project. That usually takes the longest out of everything, is building the castle. Yeah, we're keeping up with the sheep. They've gone through 10 lambs already. We have 1,000, so the carrots, apples, everything, 21 mutton, 28 pork. So yeah, doing the pigs and then the sheep, a really, really good way to get meat. Outside of the meat that we're getting from our wild animals. And let's come over here and see. We definitely are going to need 1 more in the granary. And we're going to need a second gent over here. Okay, we got 2 and 2. I think that's appropriate. Alright, we're in good shape. And we're holding that 32 sheep. So yeah, it's going through the lambs. We're in good shape. I'll do the lambs quick though. We're building up a good fuel reserve. Hoping we can start selling more carrots. Get that last horse. Oh man, look at all the goods we have for sale. It's crazy. Once we get more families, I think I'm going to start maxing out the granary and storehouse. We just need a lot more people running. And yeah, we're maintaining our 32 sheep, so I think we're in good shape. 142 clothes. We could probably start selling clothes here shortly, or just go into tier 2 just because we can. I'll increase that passive wealth generation, which is always nice. Let's do it. Let's see. I would prefer to get the manor up first before I start spending everything. 331. Okay, so we're close. Let's do the manor first. Still don't have 4 families here, so it's going to be just a tad bit. I'm going to cut all taxes so we can get above and get multiple families in. Put it down to 0. We're above 75, so we're going to get It says +1 monthly migration, so yeah, I think it's 80% for the +2 monthly migration and the +1 well. There we go. Yeah, 85%, 80% or above. Now we're gonna get 2 families per month, one at the beginning and one in the middle. Like on the 15th or 16th, you get the second family if you're above 80%. That's where it's at. We're gonna go to tier 2 on that guy. That's right. Let's get the manor up. All right, we're good. We're gonna commit. Perfect. We are committed now. Once you're committed, I feel like you can go all out at that point. Let's get some passive wealth generation going there. Those guys to tier 2. This thing over here, though, is going to take some time. And we're going to need more free families, so we're getting 2 families per month, so that's good. I think I'm just going to let everything kind of sit where it is. We don't need all the families out here in the orchard yet anyway, because we're not even at full maturity on those trees. Alright, we're in good shape. Got the quarry going full speed. Once all the materials get loaded in, then I can start trading excess. Once I see this is 331 full. You can see they're kind of going the long way, which I'm not too fond of, but it is what it is. Alright, we're doing good. A couple more families would definitely help out. Let me see if I can pull from any of my industries. I think I'll pull from the quarry just for now. Every family we have moving goods. It just means we're going to get our goal a lot faster. Bloomery, I can't really pull from any of these gents. A woodcutter there. We got 3 gents here. Let's turn that completely off. There we go. Now we got 8 families building it out. Perfect. The malt house, turn that completely off. Okay, 10 families. Beautiful. I feel like we need to actually... we need to get some stuff. Wait, we have a ton of booze. We have 90 booze. Alright. Let's get the tavern going. Let's put the overstock feature on. Crank this up. Because I think we can get some tier 3s. Here we go. Tier 3 on this guy. And tier 3 on this guy. Boom. Just like that. Just like that. And tier 3 on all of these. Perfect. Oh, I actually need to get these guys back in the wood cutting. Oh boy. Okay, let's turn off the booze now. It's kind of funny. You can just turn it on and off. That's kind of lame. I didn't even think about that. You turn the tavern off, make the booze, like get 100 or 200 of it, turn it on, turn it off. That's one way to do the tier 3. I'm kind of cheesing the system right now, right? And there's a lot to pull over there. There's a lot of wood that we need still, so it's good that we got those guys back to work. 6 families, I think, is sufficient for the time being. And we'll get all these guys out here to tier 3. I really wanted to get this house to tier 3. I don't need to, I just want to. Okay, so it needs alcohol. Let's crank that bad boy back up. And it looks like he's going... Wow, there are a lot of bandit camps. Surprised they're not stealing more. Probably go out there and kill them. Alright, medium town. There we are, tier 3 on that last house. That's beautiful. And this guy, he can also be a tier 3. Now I'm going to turn off the tavern. We're in good shape. Got 7 families building. Okay, we'll pull this guy down to... It's only taking 1 tool a year. I'm going to pull him down to 1. We still do need a lot of wood. They have not moved any of the boards yet. There's a lot to be done. We have 15 available living spaces. We're going to get, every month, we're going to get more workers, more families coming in to help out. And we still have our original 32 sheep. Looks like we're getting a huge flux of carrots. There we are. Yeah, we're doing good. I'm going to buy the pear trade route. We're just setting up all our trade routes now. That way we don't have to think about it. Okay. Now all there is to do is sit back and let them all move in and build this out. This is great. So we're going to fast forward just a tad bit. There's a lot to be done. Okay, look at that. Probably getting a full haul from over here. Now you need 2 types of grain at tier 3 to keep people happy, but you don't have to do that. You can see I'm hitting 85% on the normal difficulty, mind you. Hard difficulties, it's much more severe penalties. But we're not going to do any grains. And we're not even doing boots. I can walk around with nothing. These are some massive plots right here. Eventually we'll have some good stuff. They are still, with even with 13 families. That's one thing I actually don't like, is that there's no cart system in the game, right? We definitely need a cart system. I do like that we're selling the majority of our food. I feel like that's good. Keeping everything low. Low spoilage. Go check out our records. So all time. This is all time. That's kind of crazy. So beets aren't really doing much for us. Carrots, 5,000. Cabbage, 35. Stone, 17. So carrots are the winner. Carrots and raw stone. We stopped selling raw stone, so that's pretty crazy. Let's do previous year though. So in the previous year, 2,000 from carrots. Carrots are definitely like carrots and cabbage. Was 4,000. That's what's crazy. Is like you can produce a lot of stuff, like clays and all that kind of stuff, but vegetables you can just mass produce, which is a couple of people. You can produce several hundred, right? Or a couple families, I should say, several hundred per year, which is far in excess. You can't do that with iron or clay, or you can't produce several hundred, which is two families. So that's pretty crazy. Wool is another example of something you can mass. You can get up to like 400 wool with just a couple people. If you get like 50 sheep, you can pull in like almost 400 wool. And so wool's another good one. Convert to yarn and sell, and or convert to clothing and sell. You're producing lots of clothing. We would need to extend our population, but I kind of like it small like that. Nice. We also don't really need more trade items. We're pretty rich. 3,500 over here. Right now I'm just trying to get, once we get all our families, I'm going to start taxing them again. 36. I think we should get another thing of archers. Like we need just a little bit of crossbow production, so I'm going to create some iron parts. Get a few more things going here. Boot that up to 40 crossbows. That way we can get another unit up if we feel like it. Alright, look at how many people we got out there now. They got to plow and redo everything every year. So yeah, with the small holding and 4 families, we can do a whole thing. This is actually crazy. There's 507 cabbage in the last 365 days. That's a lot. I think it might be more than that, but that's a lot. Yeah, I like the way these walls look too. This is pretty cool. But it came together well. I think it looks a little natural. Looks a little organic, right? A bit more natural. A quaint little town. We're getting the wall sections up. Alright, so we're being raided, but look at this. 929 cabbage. It's been a while, as you can see. And 724 carrots. That's pretty crazy. Almost 1,000 cabbage. Cabbage seems a little bit easier to produce, but it's more expensive to get started. We have quite a bit to sell, so that's another problem. I really hope they fix trade a little bit. I have a raid of, you know, some banditos, but they're no match against 3 units of archers and retinue and all that jazz. Now, we haven't been taxing anything, so I have around 10,000 regional wealth. So we're going to have some good taxes here, but let's get through this. And they're coming from behind, but it doesn't matter. Crossbowmen are stupidly OP. They can pretty much devour any unit that comes at them. Boom. Alright. That was pretty big. I think we're potentially at risk of being attacked by the Lord down here. There's a lot of bandito camps. But yeah, he's taken all the regions. Back down over here. These trees are almost at full maturity. It looks like with the 4 families, we are pulling in close to 1,000 on these massive plots, which is pretty impressive. Like I said, we seem to not be able to sell the food fast. 600. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah. Greater Fortress Stone. Alright, so these areas are full. So we weren't even trading our dress stone. It's... Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This is actually pretty silly. Go down to 100 dress stone at any given time. That's a massive trade right there. Take a peek. Livestock is full. Got everything we can think of. Beautiful. We have 19 free families. I think at this juncture, the best thing we could do is get a few more granary workers going, just to make sure that all the food is being... That's an insane amount of food for them to have to pull. And I think the granaries can hold everything, but that is crazy. Come up here to your house. There's a worker in there. We may need to build additional stall locations. Okay. And I think I'll kind of start placing them. That's not going to work. I was thinking about placing them randomly. Over here would work. We've got plenty of room right here. That. 15 new locations. Perfect. Now we got some places they can go. Got this area down here all full. Alright. Get 1 and 2 more workers there. They'll have 13 families. Now the castles of various sizes. This thing, I'm going to be honest, it's been going for about a half hour in the background. And they're only 78%, so they're getting there. But holy cow. Even with all the families I have building it, it's taking forever. We have 49 months worth of fuel. The forester's doing a fantastic job. We're going to boot the woodcutter down to 1. Charcoal kiln down to 1. And yeah, 764 carrots. So let's hope we can sell all of this. It's actually absurd. Like, think about it. It's just 4 families producing all of that wealth. Because these sell for 3 to 4 a pop, right? That's 3,000 to 4,000 per a year worth of veggies, which is pretty nuts. And it looks like the sheep are keeping up. They're at 32. Got a good selection of mutton and pork. So meat is really not an issue. We got apples and pears coming in. Now I've already set up the trades for all the things that we were mass producing. Let's just go through and make sure that nothing was missed. Export of pears, apples, cabbage, all with their own dedicated trade routes. Carrots, like our pricings are going down, so we could we could pull off, but the thing is we have too much to sell. I don't think I'm going to get a trade route for beetroots simply because we don't produce too many of them. Hides, we should probably start converting into boots. So we're going to come over here. We're going to turn this burgage plot into cobbler. Boots sell for quite a bit. And we're going to get ourselves up a tannery right here. Go to the trading port. Commodities, export 7 a pop, right? And since we don't need too many, we're going to set it to 30. I'm going to buy that trade route 500. Allow foreign trade. Unselected it. Set that to 30 is our desired surplus, so we'll keep some boots for our own individuals. But we are going to produce that. Once this is up, we will begin the production of boots. Alright, tannery up. Get that going. Looks like we got a bark gathering effect of 72%, which increases the tannery yield based off of woodland environments. You can see our woodland environment is rather large. Gives us an extra chance for big time yield. Time to yield decreased by amount equal to. So that's pretty cool. 72%. Wild animal. Wow. So yeah, the wild animals and mushrooms we have are spawning at a faster rate, and we got bark gathering. Increases our tannery yield. That's pretty good. We have a good environment for all this. We're gonna get that going because we do have an enormous amount of hides. 364 clothing. Okay, so we're getting kind of absurd here. Buy clothing. All right, we're gonna export anything over 100 clothing at 3. And I don't even need this money. I don't need it. 83%, but it's going to take us a bit. So let's go to our total production and records. Environment, got our records, got trade and resources. Good resource. Go to food. Alright, so past 7 days, pretty good. So let's look at past 12 months. We're producing 1,000 cabbage, 1,200 carrots, 112 pork per year, 128. Like I told you, get 66, but 66 lambs per year, and that's going to yield us out what we see there. Should be a little bit more actually. Small game isn't doing too well, 65. This should be in the hundreds. I've been having a really hard time getting back up to those levels that we were able to get before the patch. Pears and apples are still not a full production. Berries, I need to, if I want to get the full 400, and I actually don't know if you can get the full 400 anymore, but you need to make sure you have enough families down there. So we could definitely get that up, but we don't need to, right? We're doing really well in all areas, so that's pretty insane production right there. You can see we're producing 307 rubble stone per year, 270 dressed stone. That's really, really good. 36 tools, not bad. A yarn, 260. 264 wool. So like I said, if you can get up to about 50 sheep, you can get this closer to a 400 figure. And wool, leather, 58 we made last year. Hides, this is what you want to look at, is the hides. So we're getting 32. Basically it's saying we're producing 32 lambs. Slaughtering 32 lambs per year, because you're getting 2 hides off that. It's a little odd. But that's about right. Oh, wait, sorry. It's 64. Yeah. That's right. We're producing, I think, 64 lambs. I have to look at that again. Clothing, 204 clothing. 42... wow, we produce a lot of shoes. We're going to be rich, eventually, though. This is probably one of the most broken economies you can make in the game. It's just selling carrots, cabbage, whatever local thing you have, like dressed stone, and just anything else. Basically, all the random stuff. But we have too much of cabbage and carrots. We cannot even sell it all. They really need to redo the trade system, which I know they're going to do. I don't know when it's going to come out, but it definitely is hard to sell mass quantities. I still don't really think that the small holding is worth it, but it is really cool. I would think with a better use is to build something like this and then have them be a logging and woodcutter folk. It is kind of cool just building one giant area like this, though. As you can see, it's a whole bunch of people. We got 4 families out here, so there's 12 people per lot, coming in with 1,000 food, which is pretty substantial. 86%, almost done with the castle. All right, look at that. Getting some action over there. Looks like we're getting our first. It should be a hard. Not actually sure what they're doing. Like they're planting? Yeah, they're planting, but okay. It's gonna be a lot of cabbage. I got a lot of work ahead of them. These smaller backyards are pretty funny to have 4 families on, but they are what they are. Let's kind of look. So like this guy down here, he produced 169 seeds. That's pretty good. How much cabbage did this gen over here produce? 124. So that's not bad. 124 versus 1,000. You know, bigger plots definitely win. But I know for certain that this is a good plot. My concern is I don't even know if they're actually getting all of it. I have to kind of watch them to see. It kind of looks like they're getting all of it, but this may even be more size than is needed. All right, look at that. Got all the apple trees over here. Last year was 296. This year I'm expecting twice that now that they're mature. That's going to be a lot of money too. There's a bit going on here. Yeah, we're going to make a fortune. We still have a lot of clothing. Still have an insane amount of food. There we go. Now they're still going strong. Like they're harvesting and also that's interesting. There seems to be a delay in what is coming into full maturity, and because they're replanting as they pick it up. It's actually really interesting. It seems like I could get even bigger if that's true. There's quite a bit of them. Yeah, because that's actually crazy. So they're just going to be producing year-round this setup. 90, yeah, so 30 days is changing a little bit, but that's pretty cool. 5 out of 6. Granaries aren't full. I'm glad I have 3 of them. Check our storehouses. Storehouse is half full up there. totally full up there. We're going to need another storehouse, in fact. We're starting to accumulate quite the amount of goods. Let's put him... Where shall I put you? I'm going to put him over here in the corner. That's alright for me. Got our little side market street right here. I like it. Pretty cool. 91% on the castle. Nice. Look at all that shoes. We still have a bunch of booze too. That's alright. Are we we're not producing anything. Alright, cool. Trying to make sure. I told them not to import any barley because I don't want that stuff rotten. Alright, perfect. Shoes. Prefer not to consume the clothing even though it is pretty cheap. You only consume 1 boot per year. You consume 2 clothing per year. One every 6 months. Clothing isn't that hard to keep up with. Got ourselves that new storehouse. Let's place a family in there and upgrade it. 92%. Getting close. I like this fort. It's going to look nice. So yeah, I think you can get away without doing small holding. What's interesting is you can implement this kind of thing pretty much in any build that you make. Cabbage and carrots at 1,000. And you'll feed all your people. A lot of it's rotting. I don't think you needed the small holding, but it is interesting to see how they interact with the small holding because they just sit there and completely focus on it. So I'd have to run a similar, like I'd have to run one with a small holding, one without a small holding of the exact same size. Exact same setup. That's why I also like to use corpse pits because it helps with controlled environments and determining those outcomes. That's something I'm probably going to work on at some point in the future. Alright, but yeah, we're doing great here on the sheep. Producing lots of clothing. Almost everyone I think is happy. They just don't have the grains or the booze, but we're maintaining a 90% approval rating. Granted, we have no taxes. Man, 17,000. That's pretty crazy. Oh my god, we have 59 months worth of fuel. Crazy. Yeah, once you get the wood closer to the area, so that tree regrowth is amazing. That is absurd. We just have a couple folk producing absurd amounts. We can't even sell all of the vegetables we're producing. Pretty nuts. I'm not gonna lie. We're getting high up there too. We're at 97% on the castle, so we're getting real close finally. Alright. Pretty crazy. I think we're at full production now. So we're at 98%. Let's go over here, look at our records. Back over to food. So carrots and cabbage still in the 1,000 range. Apples now up to 444. Pears down to 340. I still think we need a couple more years to get the data correct, but take a peek real quick. Like the trees are all mature now. Get a yield of 340 per this on the apples and 340 on pears. That's interesting. I don't think that's totally correct, but I think we're probably closer to 5. 99%, we're almost there. We're on the last leg. We're not paying our taxes yet, but we will soon. Getting a little behind on the taxes. Yeah, I like this little center church area where everyone walks around. It's kind of cool. Getting at a crossroad area. Wish we had more decorations like plazas and benches and all that. Hoping they add a little bit more city-esque vibe to the game. Alright, here we are at 100%, which means it's going to pop any moment now. There we go. Oh no. I forgot to... Oh no. I made a huge mistake that I'm sure everyone's... Oh, I forgot to upgrade the towers. Let me save and make sure it doesn't crash. I always save because you never know when this stuff's gonna crash. Oh my god. I made little midget towers. So these guys have to be fully upgraded, like thus. The only problem is sometimes when you do this, they have to rebuild the whole castle. If that's the case, I'm not gonna do that. We'll just leave them as little midget castles. Alright, we need mortar and pestle. Okay. That's not bad. Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. Speed this up. I hate that they make you rebuild the whole darn thing sometimes, so hopefully they fix that. I can't believe... Yeah, typically when you build your castles, you want to set it once and set it correctly. That does look really cool. I like it. Make sure that we're not trading any of this out. Cool. Oh dang, look at all that yarn we have. We're at a point where we might need another tailor. We have a collision over here. We have a collision. Need to play around. Okay. Fortunately, it did crash, so we're going to try this a couple more ways. We're going to delete this tower over here. Upgrade all these gents, okay? Close the mortar and pestle still. This going once more. Alright. I think this time it may not crash, but this is one of the issues with the game. If you don't set everything up exactly right. I thought I had upgraded those. I totally forgot that step. It's been a while since I built a castle. We'll have to delete that. Connect these guys. I'm kind of afraid that they're going to have to rebuild everything. Crashed again. Unfortunately, after several attempts, it's just crashing every time. This is one of the problems. You have to do everything perfect the first time. Either way, I think it looks cool. It looks good. You just have to ignore the imperfections. Overall, though, this was a pretty awesome build. I've learned a little bit about the game, that you can get away with some pretty stupid-sized fields. Hope you guys enjoy this. Special shout out to all my patrons, all my members. I appreciate everybody. I will be going full-time on YouTube by the time you see this in February of 2026. I got some cool things that are coming up, and I'm hoping I can make some really good content going forward. So have a good rest of your day, and thank you for your support.